Good day everyone, my name is Megan J. Collins and this is part 2 of reading Guardians Forbidden Mountain by Brandon Mull. I have been fully invested in the book. I am so excited to actually get to the second half of it, so I cannot wait. Just a reminder that this is part 2, so if you have not seen part 1 of me reacting, I'll put a link to it in the description and I'll put a link to it up here as well. That way you can get my full reaction, not just the second half. Just a reminder of where we left off. Mako just won the melee, so don't know what's going to happen with, like, if he's probably going to get an apprenticeship, if his family's going to find out about him bonding with an accursed. Very excited to know what happens with there. And then Arden is being sent away to Rajmir. I don't remember his name, but her mom's like war master and stuff, so she's going to be going down that path. Very excited to find out what happens there. Also, if there's any books that you want me to read and react to, please put those down in the comments. I read all the Brandon Mull books besides Candy Shop Wars, and I've read majority of like your common big name books that if they were published before like 2010 and like 2015, I've probably read them. But if you want, just put any books that you want me to react and read to, and I will get on that. With that being said, let's get into the book react. They're shaving Mako's head. I mean, that makes sense because he's probably getting an apprenticeship in like the military, and the military typically has short hair, but I just wasn't expecting that. Oh, never mind. It's not just for the military. It's like if you just go into an apprenticeship at all, they shave your head and stuff to do rebirth. That is interesting. I mean, it makes sense. It's like symbolic and like a ritual and stuff, but that's pretty interesting. Mako's also going to Master Rojan. Okay, so he's gonna meet Arden. But it is sad that Zane and Mako won't be together anymore, because I love them together. That would be like so hard for their parents, because they're going away for 3 years and they're only like 13, 14 years old. Like by the time they get back, they'll be like, what, like 17-ish years old? Oh my goodness. That's like their whole teenhood. And then they'll only be back for like a little while, and then they'll be gone for another 5 years, and then back for a little while, and then gone for another 7 years. Like that's like most of their like young life is gone and being abroad and whatnot. That is wild to me. And that would be just so hard. Yeah, I don't know if always listening to your guardian is the best bet when one of them isn't accursed. Okay, so Rojan fought with Mako's father. Of course, if Rojan had first choice, he would have picked Zane. Obviously, he has like the most like lineup in history of being a good fighter, but Mako is a good solid second pick. Arden may know a thing or two about corruption and smugglers in the Empire. So Rojan's also looking for the accursed stuff? Well, Mako might just meet Vandril before he wants to. Wait, Arden just met Tuck. Oh my goodness. And of course he was sneaking darts. You know what? I am not surprised. Wait, if Arden meets Mako, she could always like ask him, like, if they're worried about like the accursed. She could like sense if Mako's lying about like the accursed because he's bonded to an accursed. That could get him in trouble. So hopefully him and Arden are friends and are not like enemies, because that would be bad news. Yeah, it would be hard for Arden to like trust new people after everything with Martin. That was just so many things. Back to back. And Shig. I'm still not over that. I love him so much. She had her birthday while traveling? Well, happy birthday, Arden. This is definitely not probably how you thought you'd be spending it. She could be an attendant to a new apprentice warrior. Probably Mako, but it could be Tuck. But probably Mako. When the accursed were abroad in the land. Well, the accursed are abroad right now. Oh, what Rojan's saying about the accursed working like quietly at first and gaining trust. I really hope Nerix isn't that evil. and that Mako can like deal with everything. But I love how like protective Rojin is and like how he wants to actually get the corruption away. And since Arden can sense someone's like emotions and like when they're lying, you know that Rojin actually believes this. And so I really like him and I really trust him. Well, at least being a servant is better than not being alive. I love that Mako's just like poking his sword at Yuri. He does not have that much experience with actual combat. Oh my goodness, the boy needs some help. Hey, if someone invites you to hit them, then it's fair game. Okay, Yuri is a really good fighter. I like that she just like takes his sword away. Oh my goodness. He attacked her 12 times and he didn't win once. Ah, so Kabratan is a defensive, but it leaves you open to be able to attack right after you defend. That's pretty useful. Oh, so Nerix uses Kumatan for fighting. Okay, and that's the Wrath and Vengeance one. That makes sense. A girl by the water jug that's about Mako's age? Is that Arden? It is Arden! Oh my goodness, they finally met. Okay, I love their conversation, how Mako's just like, don't watch me to learn from me because I'm bad. And then Arden's like, oh, I'll watch Yuri because, you know, she's better and you're the entertainment. I love their little teasing. Oh my goodness. Yes, please. Doing laundry without a machine is very difficult. If they sneak the food before mealtime, they lose their next meal. Yeah, Tuck would be out like that. He would never eat. A spy master? So they know that Dom's a spy, but they're like, you're gonna reveal way more than you're gonna learn. Oh my goodness. Man, Arden would be a really good spy. Like, the fact that she's able to tell which people are noticing her conversation with, what was his name? Tremelin? She would be a very good spy. I like that Mako still enjoys playing music. Like, you can enjoy something, it can be a hobby, but that doesn't mean you want it to be your career. Wait, he just disintegrated a stone for music? Okay, yeah, Mako's really powerful with music. Personally, I don't think Renefield partnered with Tuck. Like that, maybe he could, but I think it's his brother. Personally, that just adds the most drama. And since Zane is like the top fighter, that would make sense in my brain. But theoretically, I guess it could be Tuck. Yeah, can like Nerix hear his thoughts when he's not directing them at him? Because if so, then yeah, he can't bluff and lie to Nerix. Why is Master Cynic just burning rocks in a fire and hurling them in a pond? Oh, the vapor thing was his guardian, so they know his name? That's a big no-no. Oh, Rojin, you don't know how close some of the accursed are. 2 War Masters have vanished? Wait, so not just the War Master, the whole entourage vanished? Okay, yeah, that is unnerving. Yes, Nick is a marauder. Arden's being sent into the prison. Well, I mean, staging as a prisoner is like the best way for them to open up, because if they do interrogation, they could just simply not talk, and then Arden wouldn't really know where their feelings are. So it's a good plan, but it's dangerous. Yeah, humming while doing spy work does not seem the smartest. Oh, so Helena can also do the tuning music thing that Mako can do, except she doesn't need an instrument, she can just actually hum. I wonder if Mako can, so we know he can do like the rock thing because he turned it to like, he like disintegrated a rock or something. If like he could make like the perfect like slingshot rock with tuning and stuff, because that would be cool and very useful. Looks like Arden is a little actress. I mean, aren't weapons for stabbing? True, if Arden had stayed with Martin, she very well could have ended up in a cell like this. Hunchbacked rodents stuffed into peppers. I would try that, but it sounds gross. Okay, noted. Do not try to punch Yuri or she'll break your wrists. I agree. Reading a book is definitely much better than just seeing a book. But I am still happy when I see a book too. Wait, she can tell he carries a lot of guilt? Well, at least she doesn't know what he's guilty about, because that would be quite a downfall. My sense of humor. Okay, well, I do like her sense of humor. She can glimpse aspects of their bonding. Mako's spirit is highly experienced and powerful. She knows he was a foundling. Oh my goodness, she really can just figure out everything, can't she? With his guardian, he's going to affect the Empire for good or ill. Hopefully good. What just happened? Why is she like jerking and everything? Oh my goodness, what is happening? Like, she's like spasming or like freaking out. Like, is it like something like spiritual? She's screaming like she's on fire. Yeah, do not bring up the curse to a reader. Apparently, that will make them feel like they're being burned alive. Correction, Arden is a very dangerous mouse. Darren wants her to get closer. Some people really do need to learn how to think. Yeah, I want to get close to him, even if he's laying on the ground and you're on your feet. They know Cuthbert is a spy. Okay, Darren now knows for a fact that she can fit through the bars. Okay, Darren is very invested in the Dark Guardians, aka the Accursed. Do not point him in Mako's direction. So only those with a Norn bloodline can bond with Guardians, so that means Mako must have some Anoran in his bloodline. Darren wants to send her into Yersnick's camp to get a message to his brother. That just might be her in. Okay, she definitely has an in. Because they could do that. They could send her, have her do all those things, and then they could bring an army in. Oh, yeah, Yesnik he's screwed now. Oh my goodness, he just spilled everything. Okay, Arden is a good little spy. Yuri has to now wear practice pads when they fight. Mako, you are improving indeed. Well, apparently he's a powerful and experienced spirit, so maybe he did learn Chapertan before. But he definitely is improving. Like, oh my goodness, good job, Mako. Master Rojan's gonna duel him. And if he wins, he'll let him into battle. Oh my goodness, Rojan is a good fighter. But Mako held out for a decent amount of time. Mako's gonna be led into battle. Oh my god, so they're gonna be like the Trojan horse and be like the caravan that Yasnik is trying to take, and then it's actually just the Anoran army. That is a good plan. Arden's gonna be at the battle too. You'll be out there giving water. Okay, it is now day 2. Well, I guess technically day 4 of reading Guardians Forbidden Mountain. Man, for a second when I said the attack came in the morning, I thought like it came in the morning of when they woke up, but no, it's on the 7th day, so not right away. They're coming on both sides. Oh my goodness, that man was just shot. There's a grapple that comes through the window. Okay, yeah, these guys are pretty good fighters. They're turning the caravan over. Oh my goodness, they are getting annihilated. Like, there's just bodies now on top of Mako. Nurix, I don't think this is the best time to pull Mako into a vision. At least time doesn't pass well in the vision, because I don't know if being lost in your head is necessarily the best strategy when you're in a battle. If Nurix is saying they have no hope, they probably have no hope. Jesnik set a trap for Rojan's trap. Okay, it is the battle of the strategists, apparently. Of course, Nurix wants to take over, and that might be Mako's only hope, but it's not something he should rely on. Silence his conscious mind? So, like, he would not be in control at all? I do like that Mako and Nurix, though, are talking about what Mako wants. Like, he wants to help as many people as possible, which I think it's good that he's setting up his guidelines before he gives over his will to Nerix, because at least then he has some agency and control over what Nerix does. Okay, at least Mako will still be like conscious during this whole thing, because I thought he was just gonna be like in spirit form outside his body while Nerix was in full control and doing whatever he wants. They're atop the cart and just shooting arrows through the windows. He's slashing the knees and hips of riders. That would be painful. Go Arden, she's pretty good with that bow. Are they using tuning to upright the carts? Because that's cool and useful. Oh my goodness, tuning is very, very practical in this world. Oh, Helena's making the iron light, and that's how they're able to get the caravans upright. Okay, I really like tuning. Tuning is so cool. Arden knows he's lying about like not understanding like how he was able to fight like that. Part 3. 91 people were lost. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know if it's best to have Nerix take control if the fact that like when he's ending people he has no emotions, and like, oh, this is way too much for a 13-14-year-old boy to handle. They're just throwing acorns at each other. Okay, they're definitely kids. Then again, I think I would still do that as an adult. Wait, Mako slayed 1,000 bandits? I mean, she might just be exaggerating, but I would believe that Nerix could do that. Yeah, it's understandable that Mako would feel very guilty just because he saved everybody but through and accursed through something that is viewed as evil. Arden wants Mako to teach her how to use a sword. Oh my, Mako, you were definitely drawing attention to yourself. Kita sent her a message? How did Kita get a message into the Iranan camp? Wait, if Kita knows where she is, does that mean Martin knows where she is? Kita wants to meet with her alone. No, that's dangerous. That is... Or you can bring someone. I think Arden should bring someone, but they can be like, you know, in the back so they don't know that she brought someone. But don't go alone. That's reckless. Okay, I am glad that Arden is taking this to an adult because she needs some advice on this. Oh my goodness, Kita's actually here. Kita's ruthless just like Martin. I don't know if that's a very positive thing. So Kita also knows that Shik's gone. I still miss him. Sorry about the noise. I think it's starting to rain. Yeah, I don't know if gallivanting around the town is the best thing to do when a gang is hunting you. Kita wants Arden to be a spy in Master Rojan's camp. Kita, Arden is not saying you should spy on him together. She's saying you should get out of this gang life. Oh man, now Kita's getting her involved with the people above Martin. She is just getting hurled into a massive mess. There won't be anyone who can help her if she backstabs them. My goodness, Arden is getting skills as an archer, an actress, a spy. What can't this girl do? Yeah, unfortunately, Kita is a former friend. I love the sound of thunder. Rojan's asking if his guardian's one of the 14. Very much the opposite. Yeah, strengthening a connection with Nerix might not be the most healthy thing to do. Rojan wants him to make a friend. Interesting, not the typical assignment that I would think a soldier would get. Okay, so it's a tradition to have Ronin apprentices and leaders' children become friends. That does make sense. It creates better allies and stuff because they know each other for like so many years growing up and whatnot. It's pretty smart. It's a smart tradition. Arden's coming as well? Ooh. Well, that's good. I'm glad that Arden can sense that he has good intentions and that he's like worthy of trust, even though he is keeping secrets. Because Mako definitely has good intentions. However, he has some very dangerous secrets. Is Arden actually going to tell him her knack? Oh, she told him, and she can sense that he's worried about her catching his lies. I'm glad that Arden and Mako are able to talk about this, that she's able to, like, tell everything with Martin and the cat's paws and everything. But unfortunately, Mako cannot have the same transparency with her, with everything. Because he would literally be executed. I love that Mako's just testing her ability, because I would so do that if someone told me that. Okay, now Mako knows that Arden knows that he has a secret. He knows that she knows that he knows something. Yeah, I guess Kel would feel like he just has 2 hired nannies to watch over him. The 2 things Mako wants to do is drop stuff and float things down a river. He really is a 13-year-old boy. Nobody's normal. Everyone's weird. Your weird is just a little more intense. Mako, that is some good friendship right there. Kel's advisor is Ellington Knight. Or Knight, or I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I've been calling him Ellington Knight. That's his advisor? Okay, the trance he's pitting him is probably maybe a little worrisome. Well, at least we know in other worlds they have a type of therapy. Oh, so to like counteract the tuning, they like pat their ear to mess up the vibrations. Smart. You are a wicked, evil boy. Okay, Ellington is just a weirdo. What? Okay, this is not a therapy session. You bring ruin and shame on your family, and everyone who meets you is contaminated by you? Okay, I do not like Ellington. Slay your father? Oh my goodness. So Ellington is like doing like hypnosis or something on Kel. Yeah, I did not like that therapy session. They need to revoke Ellington's license or something. So if Kel was to dispose of his father, then Ellington would most likely become the governor next. Okay, yeah, it makes sense why Ellington wants to corrupt the boy. What does Nerix want with Mako right now? Like they're having a conversation with Rojan about spying and stuff. Exactly. Nerix couldn't wait until the meeting was over. I don't like how Nerix is getting Mako to like do more and more dangerous things with like taking over his body and then like being like, oh, you should attack instead of just defend. He's slowly getting his way. Of course, Nerix knows about the Cosnacenti. I do not think I pronounced that right. There's an album in Ellington's house. And Nerix, I'm gonna guess Nerix probably wants Mako to go find it, because that could turn Ellington in. However, it's giving me Rise of the Society with Seth and the frog. And I'm worried that it's not an album that will turn in Ellington, but something that will help Nerix. Personally, I think Nerix is really only loyal to himself. Time for Arden to be a spy for Kita. Hey, it's just cruel to use soup as a manipulating tactic. Partly because I would fall for it. They think that after Arden gives all the information, Kita's just going to betray her. I mean, I'm not surprised. Kita is... well, Kita. It's Grum. And he's leading her to a second location. Never go to a second location. They're pitting a bag over her head? Okay, yeah. Arden, this was maybe not the best thing. Elga is there. Hopefully Tremlin was able to keep up with how they were like passing her around and things. But Arden might be in serious danger. And we're almost at the end of the book. Kita knows that Arden betrayed her. Unfortunately, I think her knack... she probably saw the future. Never mind, I guess there's a spy in the camp, which we already figured. She's gonna live or die by this conversation. Okay, Arden, choose your words carefully. Kita knows that Master Ronjin is going to not be here anymore, and that he's going in his office. And in days? Okay, but that's like a possible future, right? Like he might not actually be gone. Because Master Ronjin is a really nice guy and I like him. Why do all the nice characters go away? Thank heavens, Master Trumbullin, you came. Trumbullin already has most of their people in custody. Oh my goodness, I love him. He is an amazing spy. I hope Nerix is actually trying to help Mako here, but I do not trust him. Well, if owning too many pillows is a crime, then my mom is definitely guilty. Books over dead bodies is always the correct answer. There's a trap door. This is just getting more and more fun. Secret passages and a library, you couldn't get anything better. The candles are made out of human fat. No wonder Rumnavezi is like a capital crime. That's creepy. Is it like a voodoo doll where you like just write the names on it and then it does things? Or like once you like complete like the mind control, like you claim it and you get more power when you put the names on. Either way, freaky. Good, Ellington's in prison where he rightfully belongs. Hopefully Cal can be completely restored. Yeah, 2 miracles in a week. Mako, you were definitely not blending in. Thank heavens Arden told Rojan that Kita sees him not being here anymore in the future. Because that is a scary thought. They're being attacked. The Iranans don't get attacked, especially at their base. This is an attack. This is a massacre. Wait, Yorai's gone? And she was slain in her sleep? That's just unfair. The prisoners have been slaughtered? Okay, yeah, not a rescue mission. Ellington was slaughtered? Well, at least they don't have to worry about him, but still. She's coming? Is it Vanderil? They're crumbling to ash. Okay, it is Vanderil, right? Or like one of her like minions or something. Navia's turned to ash? Oh my goodness, they're just losing all their mentors. No, Master Sonic. Okay, really, they are losing all their mentors. Of course, Master Rojan is going to be attacked. And if he's in his office, then Kita's vision might come true. The large man just caught her arrow and snapped it? Okay, yeah, they're screwed. The giant's him in 30 years. He's also bounded to an accursed, isn't he? The signals he was doing was telling Vanderbilt that Mako would eventually be on her side. True, Nerix doesn't know everything. But still, he could have warned Mako about the dangers a little better. So Rojan has really no hope. Okay, Nerix, when you say dangerous, you need to specify how dangerous, because I didn't think it was going to be this dangerous either. Yeah, Nerix is quite slimy, isn't he? That is a very painful death for Rojan. That's so unfortunate. Well, if nobody who knows about it can live, then you can't live either, giant fellow. They're exiles now? Oh my goodness, they're like giving up everything. But I mean, everything is better than not being here anymore. If they break the promise, he'll know and he'll come after them. Okay, Mako, you probably need to get really close to Nerix. That way you can be stronger to fight this giant fellow. Yeah, this was not a good night. Is Trumbullin still alive? With how Trumbulin's saying how violent the attack on Master Rojan was, it makes me think that the accursed that was attacking him was maybe, I forget the name that Nerix used, but Panji or something like that. The brutal one and stuff. That's who I think the giant one is. Rojan knew that Mako was probably bound to an accursed or an advocate. And now Trumbullin knows. Trumbulin's gonna send the document back to Mount Arona, so his family is gonna know that he probably bounded with an accursed. Oh my goodness, that was so good. I loved the book. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for the next one. I mean, I know I'm gonna have to wait, but I don't want to wait. Loved it so much. I don't know where that book falls in the ranking of like my favorite Brandon Mull books, but it's definitely very high up there. Definitely liked it a lot. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to comment, please tell me what your favorite part of the book was, what you think is going to happen. I want to hear all your theories, or if there's any books that you want me to react to, please let me know. I love doing these book reacts. So if there's any books you want me to read, put those down in the comments below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.